เรียกแบทแมนเรียกแบทแมนโทร1153ส่งฟรีเปลี่ยนถึงที่ทั่วกรุงเทพครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่ B-Quik เปลี่ยนน้ำมันเครื่องต้องที่ B-Quik ที่ไหน B-Quik ทำไม
แชร์โมบิลเกต1กิโล
เท่าไร
เริ่มต้น690 บาท
ทั้ง
690 บาท
แถมฟรี
ใส่กล่อง
ฟรี
ค่าแรง
คุ้มไหม
คุ้มมาก
ครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่ B-Quik
ทั่วประเทศ
ถึง31ธันวาคมนี้
ประทับใจตั้งแต่เข้ามาในวงการเกมนะครับรู้สึกว่าทุกคนสามัคคีกันดีครับช่วยเหลือกันอะไรเงี้ยครับก็เป็นมิตรภาพดีๆจากคนที่ไม่เคยเจอกันเลยครับผมก็มาเจอกันได้เพราะว่าเกมนี้ครับ
แน่นอนครับอุปสรรคเนี่ยมันต้องมีจากเริ่มแรกเนี่ยที่ประสบความสำเร็จเนี่ยพอแข่งไปสักพักเนี่ยเราก็จะพบกับผู้เล่นใหม่ๆตัวละครใหม่ๆเนี่ยซึ่งบางทีเนี่ยฝีมือเนี่ยก็เหนือกว่าเราก็ต้องหาทางแก้เกมหรือว่าศึกษาคู่แข่งนะฮะเพื่อที่จะก้าวผ่านไปให้ได้นะครับ
จุดเด่นของผมไม่มีอะไรมากครับผมก็เป็นนักแข่งเกมทั่วๆไปแต่ความฝันของผมคืออยากได้เป็นนักแข่งจริงกับเขาบ้างเหตุผลที่ผมหลงรักในเกม Gran Turismo Sport นะครับคือผมสามารถสนุกไปกับมันได้แล้วก็เป็นเกมที่สามารถเล่นทั้งไม่เคร่งเครียดกับมันหรือสามารถจะจริงจังเพื่อจะไปถึงระดับโลกได้นะครับ
จุดเด่นของผมก็คือการไม่ยอมแพ้ครับผมจะสู้ให้ถึงที่สุดครับจนกว่าเกมจะจบเรื่องราวที่น่าจดจำที่สุดก็น่าจะเป็นเมื่อปีที่แล้วครับที่ได้ที่3ของประเทศไปครับถึงผมจะอายุน้อยที่สุดแต่ผมก็จะไม่หยุดเหยียบคันเร่งนะครับ
เรามีความฝันที่ว่าเราอยากแข่งรถจริงอย่างนี้เราไปคัดแล้วมันไม่ได้ทีนี้มันก็ท้อมากเหมือนความฝันมันดับวูบไปเลยพอมาเจอกับแข่งเกมอะไรอย่างเงี้ยมันก็เหมือนกับมีลู่ทางเหมือนความฝันมันก็กลับมาหาตัวเราเองอีกครั้งผมอยากให้มองว่าดิจิตอลมอเตอร์สปอร์ตมันไม่ใช่เกมแข่งรถอีกต่อไปมันคือกีฬาอาชีพและมันเป็นกีฬาที่ทำความฝันของผมให้เป็นจริงได้ครับ
ก็ที่ประทับใจนะครับก็ได้แข่งกับคนเก่งๆเยอะแยะเลยครับประสบการณ์ที่เอามาใช้กับชีวิตจริงได้คือเกมเนี่ยฮะทำให้ผมขับรถเป็นครับทำยังไงถึงจะผ่านมาได้ทุกครั้งที่เราแพ้เราก็เก็บมาเป็นบทเรียนแล้วก็พัฒนาต่อไป
ในมุมมองดิจิตอลมอเตอร์สปอร์ตนะครับผมคิดว่ามันจับต้องง่ายขึ้นมันเริ่มเข้าถึงได้ง่ายขึ้นนะครับไม่ได้ยากเหมือนรถจริงที่อาจจะต้องมีขั้นตอนอะไรมากมายกว่านี้ร่วมเข้าแข่งขันก็ขอให้ทุกคนสู้กันอย่างเต็มที่นะครับแล้วก็มีน้ำใจนักกีฬาสู้กันอย่างไม่ต้องยั้งนะครับสู้กันอย่างดี
เรียกแบทแมนเรียกแบทแมนโทร1153ส่งฟรีเปลี่ยนถึงที่ทั่วกรุงเทพครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่ B-Quik เปลี่ยนน้ำมันเครื่องต้องที่ B-Quik ที่ไหน B-Quik ทำไม
แชร์โมบิลเกต1กิโล
เท่าไร
เริ่มต้น690 บาท
ทั้ง
690 บาท
แถมฟรี
ใส่กล่อง
ฟรี
ค่าแรง
คุ้มไหม
คุ้มมาก
ครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่ B-Quik
ทั่วประเทศ
ถึง31ธันวาคมนี้
ประทับใจตั้งแต่เข้ามาในวงการเกมนะครับรู้สึกว่าทุกคนสามัคคีกันดีครับช่วยเหลือกันอะไรเงี้ยครับก็เป็นมิตรภาพดีๆจากคนที่ไม่เคยเจอกันเลยครับผมก็มาเจอกันได้เพราะว่าเกมนี้ครับ
อุปสรรคเนี่ยมันต้องมีจากเริ่มแรกเนี่ยที่ประสบความสำเร็จเนี่ยพอแข่งไปสักพักเนี่ยเราก็จะพบกับผู้เล่นใหม่ๆตัวละครใหม่ๆเนี่ยซึ่งบางทีเนี่ยฝีมือเนี่ยก็เหนือกว่าเราก็ต้องหาทางแก้เกมหรือว่าศึกษาคู่แข่งนะฮะเพื่อที่จะก้าวผ่านไปให้ได้นะครับ
จุดเด่นของผมไม่มีอะไรมากครับผมก็เป็นนักแข่งเกมทั่วๆไปแต่ความฝันของผมคืออยากได้เป็นนักแข่งจริงกับเขาบ้างเหตุผลที่ผมหลงรักในเกม Gran Turismo Sport นะครับคือผมสามารถสนุกไปกับมันได้แล้วก็เป็นเกมที่สามารถเล่นทั้งไม่เคร่งเครียดกับมันหรือสามารถจะจริงจังเพื่อจะไปถึงระดับโลกได้นะครับ
จุดเด่นของผมก็คือการไม่ยอมแพ้ครับผมก็ผมจะสู้ให้ถึงที่สุดครับจนกว่าเกมจะจบครับเรื่องราวที่น่าจดจำที่สุดก็น่าจะเป็นเมื่อปีที่แล้วครับก็ได้ที่ได้ที่ 3 ของประเทศไปครับถึงผมจะอายุน้อยที่สุดแต่ผมก็ไม่หยุดเหยียบคันเร่งนะครับ
เรามีความฝันที่ว่าเราอยากแข่งรถจริงอย่างเงี้ยเราไปคัดมันไม่ได้ทีนี้มันก็ท้อมากเหมือนความฝันมันดับวูบไปเลยพอมาเจอแบบแข่งเกมอะไรอย่างเงี้ยมันก็เหมือนกับมีลู่ทางเหมือนความฝันมันก็กลับมาหาตัวเราเองอีกครั้งผมอยากให้มองว่าดิจิตอลมอเตอร์สปอร์ตมันไม่ใช่เกมแข่งรถอีกต่อไปมันคือกีฬาอาชีพและมันเป็นกีฬาที่ทำความฝันของผมให้เป็นจริงได้ครับ
ก็ที่ประทับใจนะครับก็ได้แข่งกับคนเก่งๆเยอะแยะเลยครับประสบการณ์ที่เอามาใช้กับชีวิตจริงได้คือเกมเนี่ยทำให้ผมขับรถเป็นครับทำยังไงถึงจะผ่านมาได้ทุกครั้งที่เราแพ้เราก็เก็บมาเป็นบทเรียนแล้วก็พัฒนาต่อไป
ในมุมมองดิจิตอลมอเตอร์สปอร์ตนะครับผมคิดว่ามันจับต้องง่ายขึ้นมันเริ่มเข้าถึงได้ง่ายขึ้นนะครับไม่ได้ยากเหมือนรถจริงที่อาจจะต้องมีขั้นตอนอะไรมากมายกว่านี้ร่วมเข้าแข่งขันก็ขอให้ทุกคนสู้กันอย่างเต็มที่นะครับแล้วก็มีน้ำใจนักกีฬาสู้กันอย่างไม่ต้องยั้งนะครับสู้กันเต็มที่
And Swadikap, welcome everybody. This is Lurt Siribunmi in the house once again, the hot seat, and the place to be happens to be B-Quik headquarters down by Rama 5 Road, folks. That's right, today is the highlight, folks. If you haven't been following up on the agenda, well, we've got races galore, and today is the 4th track in this installment for the season number 1, the first season. And of course, today's date, if you're checking, the 13th, and it's a Sunday. Sunday is race day for today, September 2020, and the time, well, we're supposed to be right on the dot at 4 p.m. local time, Bangkok. So if you're around the area of Rama 5, head on down. Of course, they've got lots of venues and, of course, things to see here, as well as the highlight today will be the awards ceremony. But first, let's get you into the game. Once again, this is Lord Siribunmi commentating for you live down by Rama 5 Road from B-Quik headquarters. Today's competition, once again, will be based off of the Gran Turismo Pro Series 2020 by B-Quik. Class B. That's right, folks. Don't forget, there were 2 divisions, Class A and Class B. Once again, the competition is based off of the world-renowned racing game brought to you in part by Gran Turismo Sport, GT Sport. Of course, without the support of GT Sport, we could not have this amazing race. And of course, which we definitely have the rights for, thanks to Polyphony for the support. And the maker of GT Sport has been increasingly making this game as realistic as possible. Talk about the telemetry, the physics, everything that's making this game the hottest thing around town. All right, and it's able for us to hold the official races, and we are also certified by none other than the RAAT, also a member of the FIA for this series event. This is the Digital Motorsports to Win Thailand Trophy for GT Sports Series. For Gran Turismo Pro Series 2020, we will be dividing up into 2 seasons. Of course, today happens to be the roundup for season number 1, but for each season, it will comprise of 4 tracks with an overall points accumulation to win the title for Thailand Champion. Okay? And of course, mentioned earlier on, we have classes A and class B. For class A, there will be a total of 8 drivers of the GPE Grand Finals from 2019, last year. Class B, there will be qualifications held before the races take place, which we will see very, very shortly as well. The schedule for season 1, we already ran it from August and now down to today, which is the 13th of September 2020. We had earlier on, we had the first track was down by August the 8th. We had Scuba, which is world renowned for the very realistic track layout for a technical course. And we had another race on August the 22nd. If you could check back on the GPE Facebook page, you will see the highlights and tidbits of each of the racing events that occurred. Also, just a few weeks ago, we had September 5th for track 3. And now, 13th of September is Sunday, held down by B-Quik main headquarters on Rama 5 Road. We are going to be simulating what track? The track happens to be Dragon Tail. Wow. A very fierce name indeed. And of course, let's see how fierce it proves to be on the road for all these racers out here on the track. And of course, once you're racing, you're also racing to win. But what are we winning? Exactly. Well, for Class B, cash prizes will be awarded as follows. First place receiving 2,500 baht. Second, receiving 1,500 baht. And third, receiving 1,000 baht. All of which will be receiving medals and awards from B-Quik as well. And of course, the other incentive to get into Class A is different and relies on each point received during the series to be awarded 250 baht, which later on will, compute. For example, if you happen to tally up 40 points during the series and you're in Class A, you'll probably end up with 10,000 baht and not only that, but a trophy from the respective positions gained from first and third positions. First 2 third positions, plus the additional prize from B-Quik, our main sponsor. And don't forget, folks, for you folks out there watching us from far and away or nearby, depending where you are physically, viewers out there can like, share, subscribe, support, comment, do whatever you got to do, because guess what? We are watching. Random prizes will be given out by staff members from B-Quik as well. And of course, the prizes include mugs from B-Quik for 5 lucky winners back at home. So please put in the social status of public and then check us out, like, share, and even drop a comment if you want, okay? Of course, I'd like to give a thanks, a warm, hearty thanks to B-Quik Company Limited for sponsoring the event and the series for Gran Turismo Pro Series 2020. I'm very excited today for season number 1. Okay, folks, so getting ready for the race. But first, let's check out the highlights. Let's see what we got from last race. Here we go. Let's check it out.
กับการแข่งขันที่เข้ามาถึงวีคที่ 3 สัปดาห์ที่ 3 วันนี้เราจะไปดูกันครับว่าแต่ละคนเตรียมตัวกันยังไงกับการแข่งขันที่เขาไม่ได้มาร่วมการแข่งขันที่สตูดิโอของกังปรีที่นี่เอาละครับคราวนี้เราไปเยี่ยมนักแข่งกันหน่อยครับพาท่านผู้ชมไปชมนักแข่งแต่ละคนอยู่หน้าซิมูเลเตอร์เป็นยังไงวันนี้ใช้สนาม
The vehicle of choice happened to be trucks. That goes to prove that not only race cars are approved for this series. We had everything from circuit racing cars all the way down to open wheels and even trucks. So therefore, it just shows the platform of Polyphony providing us the wonderful support from Gran Turismo that anything can be raced as long as you got the wheels and the guts. That's right, folks. Back out on the track last time, we've got the Ford F-150 Raptor machines, OVH Cine being out and ahead. But of course, it was just the beginning of the race, down by second lap out of 18. Due to the way these trucks were modeled from the original trucks from the real deal, you can see that the body movement played a very big role in how these drivers actually took the corners down to the itty-bitty last moments of coming into the apex and out to the outside rim of the track. Almost, if they're not careful, probably exceeding track limits. But they try not to, because as you know, if you do exceed any of these limitations, you will be not disqualified, but you will be docked down or penalized, depending which part of the world you're from. As you can see, sometimes the strategy for someone like Paul or Tacky SPR, they try to use the pit row and fill up fuel as much as they needed, because if they filled up too much, time would be wasted away and drastically change the outcome of the game. That's right. Another thing that I noticed was the tailgating that occurred during the game. It seems like these trucks, sometimes the tailgating issue has been used because they want to slingshot across the opponents whenever they have the appropriate time. For example, on the straightaway. By using slipstream, they are able to do that. As you can see from the back here, Ball 76 from Vatana managed to use the slipstream effect. As you can see, when he pushed on over onto the inside line, very much these trucks were set up, so they don't have that much of an advantage over each other. It just depends on the way they drive in terms of driving line and when they would use the opportunity if anybody in front would make an error or a mistake. Alrighty, so there we go. Down by the 16th lap out of 18, it was nail-biting, folks. Ball 76 and from Vatana and Tacky SPR were trading places back and forth. The tussle was happening right there. But don't forget, Ball then dropped down to third place, bringing up OVH Cine into second place. I saw what had happened. Cine actually took advantage of the tussle between Tacky and Ball 76 and then used that as a moment to take advantage of the errors. But then, oh wow, taking a little bit of a detour off track there. Ball 76 munched up a little bit on the gravel and grass, but then, hey, look at this. There was a last-minute battle on the final lap. OVH Sydney up against Tacky was fender to fender. You could see it right there. But in the ending, it turned out there had to be somebody that nudged up in front. And it seemed at that point, before they came into the final checkered flag, OVH Sydney did have an advantage, while Ball 76 dropped down to third position. This race was nail-biting. Now, of course, if you saw it from the inside cockpit view of these tracks, it didn't seem too fast. The velocity speed, because due to these being trucks and not circuit racers, dedicated circuit racers, you could tell that, you know, even though these trucks were a little bit slower than normal race car drivers would usually use on the tracks, but it did show that if you take the proper driving line and be consistent over the whole entire race, you can theoretically, therefore, edge out in front. And OVH Cine pretty much did that to the last drop, and bringing in the shot of checkered flag for his win, with Tacky SPR down by second position, bringing in third place for Ball 76 out of Vatana. Okay. There is always a victory for everybody to be had here, and today happens to be a wonderful highlight because we are ramping up to the last race for Season 1 for Class B. Getting ready for the race here. Everybody in good spirits, as the way races should be. Got sportsmanship along the line, and here we go for Class A. Of course, Class A, 7 drivers out of 8 due to a last-minute pullout, but let's see how they take on the track. I mean, if they're going to have any better times, it would probably be due to more consistency. And right off the get-go, PSE The Meal up against Tan TE 888 Car Wash was duking it out side by side. Whoever had the inside line had the advantage. And of course, these are trucks, so very wide trucks. I don't know if you've been to the States before, but these Ford 150s are pretty much full size as they come. They're not like the Ranger Raptor that we're so accustomed to in Thailand or in the Asian region, but the F-150 is a wide vehicle. Of course, pulling along the weight of these trucks, you're going to definitely feel if you're bumped up from the side or pushed off from the side. PSC the Mieng coming in first position, and he's leading away. Tally ho, he says, say bye-bye to OVH Anand Akagi, and then coming into pit row. Wonderful livery from up above. As you can see, B-Quik being adorned on each of these trucks or vehicles as realistic as possible. Gran Turismo does offer this realism not just in the way it handles for the cars, but of course for the livery that are slapped on with dedication. And look at this shot right there, M78E fully adorned with the B-Quik livery. Beautiful and very prominent on the track. Once you see that yellow coming around the back, you know it's from B-Quik. Okie doke. Tanti AAA Car Wash down by the 9th lap, half of the way down from 18 laps, was pushing it up. Boy, was it enough to pass up on BSC GT1? Wasn't sure, but OVH Anand Akagi was pulling up far and away. Bang zoom to the moon, we say, but not far behind was Anand dropping down up against GT1 PSC the Ming. White livery leading the way. Here's a shot from the back. You can see the tail or the flatbed in the back, the bedside of these trucks are covered up, creating much of an aerodynamic downforce on these trucks as much as they can. You notice that these trucks don't have much of an aero aid, you know. Obviously, being that far up from the ground does create a lot of roll for these trucks, but they were pretty much set up with soft tires. And of course, everybody's got to fill up properly, fill up enough so that they would be able to finish the race. Total of 18 laps. Down by the 13th lap, Tanti AAA car was gone, but being caught up by OVH, what we got here? OVH Ice GT1, that's right, in second position, and M78E, the B-Quik monster right there. Gran Turismo Pro Series 2020, presented by B-Quik, offers a wonderful platform to be one of the best, if not the best, e-online racing simulation right here for the Thailand Trophy. And that's what all these racers were vying for. Down to the few last laps here, you can see the attention to how much detail has been nicked off of the cars right here due to the tussle. But that's not going to stop any of these drivers from pushing it all the way, because everybody wants to garner the best. And of course, for each point gained on Group A, they were going to be giving 250 baht for each point. So if you tally up the points, like I said earlier on, you multiply the amount of total points you have over the whole season for season 1, which today will come to a culmination, and I, along with veteran Thai Nabes, will be announcing from our headquarters down for B-Quik headquarters down here, who will be the champion. So stay tuned for that, folks, coming up shortly. As you can see here, the final lap, bringing in the PSC the Ming for the champ of that race. Open, not, here we go. Trucks F-150. Victory goes to PSC the Ming GT1. And so there you go, folks. You have it right there for you. What you just saw was basically the highlights. So for if all of you have just tuned in recently down for the Facebook page of GP eRacing for the Gran Turismo Pro Series 2020, welcome to the show. This is Lord Siri Bunmi, getting ready for the showdown. Group B being the first one up and getting ready for the race. All right, for race number 4 and to close out for the season number 1. Let's get ready to see who is going to be in the driver's seat for each of these cars. Let's check it out, folks. Head on over down to the cockpit view of each of these drivers. So, get ready. Here we go. Of course, the car is going to be used will be the cars for Dragon Tails down by Gardens, race 4. Let's stop by for first driver up. Pavarit, ball 76, Vatana. Currently leading, currently with a 26 point under his belt there. Pavarit Basso has definitely showed his racing spirit right here, being very, very focused on track. Here we go. Second up, we've got Mai Jakri, Pax C Zion, a brand new entry to the series, and therefore no accumulated points. But it does show that it's never too late to join a race. It's never too late for joining a race. Mai Jakri in the hot seat right here. Never too late to race. Third up, we've got Wasin Guard Pitat OVH Cine. 21 points. 21 points under his belt right here. Currently focused on getting ready to do a round for you. And he has shown a lot of promise. Probably the best one up against Bavarid Paso for ball 76 Vatana. But let's see what he can do for today's race. Next one up, Taki Jamrat Y. Taki SPR, 10 points. Currently accumulated for his driving on Class B for the Gran Turismo Pro Series 2020 by B-Quik, Taki Jamrat Y, Taki SPR. Next up, whoa, look at this determination right here. Natawan Panchinda. Natawan, 13 points. We got 13 points for him. And he has actually gained a strong foothold coming up on to the racing series as well. Next up, Mongkon Pan, Game E, King Bob. Everybody's going to be knowing him as King Bob. 14 points on the roster list for him. Total up, tallying up for 14 points for the season number 1. And if he can get another edge up against Natawam, it'll be interesting who will be facing up for him. Next up, Meta Kraizat. Tata MK13 SPR, 8 points. Of course, he made an entrance into race 2, and he joined up on race 2, and therefore gained 8 points currently, tallying up. And let's see what he can do today. Seems fierce already, and with the driving gloves and all. Last one in Jaturong, Ton 1407 SPR. Brand new to the entry list for the series. So once again, another guy coming in to race, showing the sportsmanship coming late into the game. So there you have it, 8 drivers for you right here. We've got, once again, Power Rig coming now for Paul 76, Mai Jakri, Pax Zion, and of course, Wasid Garbitat, OVH Cine, as 21 points for him. Taksid Jamrat Y, Taki SPR with a 10-pointer. And Natawan for 13 points. Mongkon Pan, Gamey, 14 points from last time. And Meta, MK13, SPR, 8 points. Track today happens to be Dragon Tail's Garden, folks, for race number 4, Dragon's Tail. Time will be allocated 10 minutes. The category of the cars being used will be the Audi R8 LMS, the Audi Sports Team WRT, Grade 3, folks. Audi, of course, will be very signature for the B-Quik team because that's what they really and often use for the real races. So that will be interesting. Number of laps will be 20 laps, and the tire selections will be hard, medium, or soft. Tire wear rate will be 13 times the normal wear rate, and of course, fuel consumption rate, or I call it the sip rate, will be 6 times the normal sip rate. Starting type will be rolling. These are high-speed machines, and it would be nice to have a rolling start. So get ready for the race. Got a little talk about the livery once again. B-Quik livery will be on each of these cars down to the little itty-bitty details as much as possible. All right? Drivers in Class B that have the overall points combined to equal the first and second position of this season will be bumped up from Class B to Class A for Season 2. So that is a very good incentive. And, all right, folks, let's get to the racetrack and let's see what these guys can pull. Down on the racetrack, here we go, folks. Qualifying. What is the point of qualifying? Well, for those of you that are new to the game or new to the series or even new to the whole concept, qualifying is used to find your position on the track when the race does go. So what you need to do is garner the fastest time around the track, and the track once again happens to be Dragon Tail. The course pretty much looks very technical except for a few long stretches down on the map, as you can see up above on the upper right hand corner. But now the shot goes to Paul 76 out of Vatana. The blue color, as always, he has taken that color to be on every one of his vehicles. And it looks like, oh no, a penalty so far out on the get-go. You got to keep in mind, everything is crucially being overlooked by the officials and marshals, which, by the way, RAAT, of course, is an FIA member. So everything here is taken very seriously in terms of sportsmanship and how you handle these rides across the track, making sure not to bump, nudge, or push any of the other fellow drivers or fellow sportsmanship. And of course, be careful not to go over track limits. You don't want to be munching grass because that's not the point of the game. And of course, the time allocated for the qualification round will be currently at 3.5, so 3 minutes and a half. So they have their moment here to shine. Of course, right out of the gate, you don't want to go as fast on the first lap out on the get-go. Why? Well, because maybe the tires aren't warm enough yet. And you can see down on the bottom left of the virtual screen here, you can see the condition levels of the tires. That's right. Once you overheat or overcook these tires, they're not going to grip anything. So only 4 contact patches on the track is what's going to determine how sticky you get on the track. And here we go. The yellow livery, synonymous with the B-Quik. That's right. Well, that's interesting. Currently, not that much of a sponsorship on him, but at least he's got the livery for B-Quik stamped on, just to know who is our main sponsor of the race today, as along with everybody else. We haven't gone through the whole race lap yet, so we don't know the lap time, but we're about to find out. So let's let her simmer, folks. Shot of Tata MK13 SPR, then here's Don 1407. I'll just call him Don from now on, just to make it simplified for you racers out there. And don't forget, folks, viewerships out there, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. Don't forget, viewers out there are currently being selected at random and will be given prize out according to B-Quik for 5 mugs, and they will be chosen at random. But you gotta pick it out and put up the status as public to be eligible. Okay. King Bob, Gamey, pink livery. Wow, that's a bold color, don't you think? Look at the top speeds right here. We got 238 on the Velocity Max. Bringing these machines into the corners at almost nerve-wracking 200 kilometers per hour through the corners and bends. Slowest I've seen so far has come down to 100 kilometers per hour through the more technical S curves. That's okay. Let's take them out. And the name of the game is consistency. You don't want to be zigzagging across the track like a newbie. No sirree, Bob. Smooth cornering. You take it out hard onto the inside, hitting the apex. When you hit the midpoint of the turn, that would be crucial, only unless you have traffic up ahead and you might have a tussle up against another driver. So it's kind of interesting to see that during the qualification rounds, nobody wants to go toe-to-toe or head-to-head over each other. So they are released sort of like one by one out of pit row, thereby giving everybody enough space to sort of do their sprint run for the track. And check it out, Ball 76 out of Vatana garnered a 129.291. What a beautiful number on the Dragon's Tail track right here. And the number to beat is 129.291. So if nobody can beat that number, well, he's going to be on the top end of the stick right here, or pole position, or that's what I like to call it. Obviously, being first does offer the advantage of racing a clean line because nobody's out front to block your view, and you can take advantage of the driving line of your choice. Only second to whoever's going to be in second position and sort of outmaneuvering the numero uno head honcho so far, which will currently be Ball 76 from Vatana. Fastest lap, as mentioned right there, 129. Close one up. Well, usually they're running in 130s as well. Right behind by approximately 0.73 of a second down behind. So that's interesting to see. New time up right there, 0.291. I don't think it's going to inch down anytime soon. But hey, look, going through the speed here, down on the starting lineup, you can see them ramping up from mid 150s up to 250s right there for you. So crossing the finish line right there, or the checkered flag, that signifies the end of the qualifying run. Happy as can be. Oh, check it out. The fastest lap happens to go to the newbie right there, 129.245. Wowee, Pak Sion. Okay, so it goes to show you, the new guy in the house, Pak Sion, got the fastest lap and thereby would be taking in the pole position. Let's go straight down to the racetrack because this is race day. Pak Sion coming in with the fastest lap so far, 129.245. Garners the pole position. Was a wild card, pulled out the wild card trick, but let's see what he can do up against Ball 76 from Vatana and King Bob Gamey in third position. Okie dokie, folks, rolling start, here we go. Don't forget, folks, check us out down for GPE Racing on the Facebook page. And here we go, folks, it's racing time. Pak Sion leading the way. Clean getaway as no problem whatsoever on the rolling start. Leading the way with a 0.5 lead so far. No sponsorship on the car does not mean he doesn't have the skill set to make it up in the lead. But let's see, coming up on the rear end, Ball 76 out of Vatana. Looking to target and lock on. He's like a heat-seeking missile on the back of that Audi. They're all Audis, folks, but Pak Sion happens to be the lead racer right now. Pulled out an unbelievable time during qualifying round. And currently, it looks like that Ball 76 out of Vatana is pulling up. You can see the lead time being erased corner by corner, down to 0.4, now 0.3 earlier on. So you definitely know Ball 76 out of Vatana is making his move. OVH Cine not far behind as well. You can see him in the frame. But it looks like now, Ball 76 getting the slowdown right on the get-go. It's only lap 1 of the race out of 20 laps. And there was a momentary penal code right there for him, but I guess it's back to normal now. It was a brief moment of a hiccup there for him. And it's back on for racing. 0.2 now, slapping down the times. If my calculations are correct, down by lap 3, Ball 76 would probably outlap Pak Sion at the current rate. So Pak Sion's got to play the defense, folks. He can't go too wide onto the corners. He's going to lose his position. Ball 76 has known to be a fast speed team in both in corners and on the straightaway. It is a force to be reckoned with. Look how close he goes onto the apex. Meanwhile, Paxion took it on a wide. Didn't even hit the apex. The driving style is a little different there. Shot down by 5th position, Tata MK13. Trying to go up to King Bob Gamey. The race for 4th position. And also a little bit of a Tacky SPR in the mix. Tacky coming up on the end of Tata right there. Both are similar liveries, so don't get confused. Tacky going a little wide there, but he was still on the track in terms of having 4 wheels within track limits. Once again, folks, a reminder, this is the final stage for Class B or Group B. Whoops, a little bit of a dust kicked up for you right there. Take some smoke out there for Tacky SPR. If this was on the real racetrack, of course, you probably have some gravel kicked up into the radiators on the R8 LMS cars, but oh, a little bit of a slippity slidey. Tartar slips and slides, makes a little bit of error. Tacky takes the 5th position up there. You can't afford for these mid-engine machines to slip and slide into corners. One little momentum mess up and there you go, you lose the position. Tartar taking the back seat in 6th. Tacky in 5th. Natawamp is about to womp up. Taking the inside line, and here we go. What did I just say? Did I just call it? Yes, I did. Natawamp takes that error into 5th position, slides the baby right in. Let's check the replay, folks. These two guys, Tacky and Tata, they were tussling up and back and forth. Messed up the line, went out over the track, and Wampy right there took the seat, no problemo. Tacky down in 7th, Tata in 8th. I wonder who's up in 4th. King Bob Gamey now is going to be looking into his rearview mirror saying, what the heck, not the Womp in the back already? What the hell happened to Tacky right there? Well, due to a little minor error, Tacky dropped down. That's right, folks. Not to Womp's going to be coming up pretty shortly, but Paxion still in the lead. Unbelievable. Earlier on, I did say that at the going rate, Paxion would probably lose it out to Boss 76 from Vatana because the time was getting closer and closer. You were nipping away at the back end there, but Boss 76, as you can see, he's not driving very medically precise as earlier on in the other races that I've seen down by Scuba, down by, Blue Moon Bay. But down on the Dragon's Tail, he's going to be taking a whipping from the Dragon's Tail right here. Very highly technical race as well. You can see the defense right here going on from Paxion up front. He's not going to be letting Ball 76 climb up in front. Ball's getting a little bit twitchy in the end there. You can hear and sort of feel the rear end giving way. Look at the way he approaches the corners there. Sort of let the car slide right into the corner using the momentum of the mid-engine machine, centrally weighted, and let the suspension and the grip of the tires do its job. That's right, folks. Hey, folks, talking about tires, B-Quik got a great array of tires for all the cars out there. So, gotta do a little plug-in for you. That's right, folks. B-Quik, great on the race and great for the roads as well. You ever need some help from folks down B-Quik, stop on by to any of the B-Quik places, including the 2 new outlets for B-Quik. Get your car serviced, no problemo whatsoever. But down by the racetrack right here, we are seeing the amazing performance. Paxion pulling a wild card first out by qualification round, and now up against who I thought would be number 1, the numero uno honcho, Ball 76 out of Vatana. It looks like Ball's pulling out the headlights as well. He's saying, hey, you allowed to let me go, man. I'm coming up behind you. Hey, but check, Paxion made a little bit of a boo-boo right there. Uh-oh, went a little bit too wide. Ball's holding on to the steering wheel. looking very calm. A little bit of a surprised expression right there. I wasn't expecting that, but look how close he gets to the rear end of Paxion up front there, especially in the corners. He's putting the pressure on. No problem so far. 5 laps down from 20 laps. Hey, you got to do the math. A quarter of the way down. He's got plenty more to go. So, pit row is going to be the place where the strategy is going to be taking place. How long will these guys hold on to the lead? Paxion and Boss 76 so far in the lead. Did I just mention pit row? Yes, I did. And look who turns in right here. All 3 up front forward now. Paxion, Ball, and OVA City as well. King Bob, they're all dropping in, taking the sip of a refuel, maybe a little slight refill, but changing with the soft tires being the tire of choice right there. Earlier on, I did mention the tire wear rate, which was 13. Well, was that coincidence that today happens to be the 13th of September? I don't know, folks, but 13 happens to be the great number it is down for today. 13 is the tire wear rate, and of course the fuel sip rate is 6 times the normal sippage rate. So these guys have to be careful how much they put in. They've got to calculate how much fuel they're going to put in there, and look at the roster right now. Nothing has changed. Only the fact that Ba is down back by a few car lengths behind now. If my eyes are reading correctly, we're talking about a second away back behind Paxion, down by 6th position. Check out Data trying to munch up. Oh, on the outside. Got a little rear quarter end of Don 1407 SPR saying, no sirree, Rob, I gotta close the door for you folks. So he's playing good defense up front. I'm not saying, you know, what the rule book here is to say, but you gotta be defensive as well. But if you get a little bit too aggressive, you gotta be careful. Marshals are keeping a keen eye on you guys. Being also members of the FIA, you know, the RAAT is a great organization down in Thailand. You want to do any race here in Thailand, you gotta mention the RAAT, okay? Don 1407 taking it easy now as Data is 2 car lengths away now, trying to pull up onto the back end. You saw a little glimpse of Natawam, who is currently dead last. On 407, running smooth. You gotta. He's got like a poker face going on as well. You can't tell what he's thinking, but he's just like focused. And you know what they say in driving, folks, the smoother you are, the better times you'll get. Look how smooth he is with that steering wheel. He's not doing that, you know, not that much of a correction on the steering wheel. You know, if you're correcting too much, that means you're either overdoing it into the corners, then you gotta correct. But this guy is very, very precise with that steering wheel. It's just a little bit too bad. He dropped it down, nicked it down in 6th position right here with Tata tailing back in the back there. And back up front, we still got Paxion up against Boss 76. He has outdone himself. Paxion not giving up the first position. But all eyes currently now on Don. And not too crazy right there. King Bob finally got a shot of the pink livery machine stuck in the middle of you. That's right. Now, being in the middle of the pack does not mean that, you know, he doesn't have a chance or anything. He definitely has a chance because the race up front is heating up. You know, they got fresh new tires coming out of the pit row. 8th lap in, almost 10 laps now, so almost midway of the race. Everybody by this point should already have a handle on how to handle these corners, especially with the aggravated amount of traffic up in front of them. Not that much of a problem for King Bob Gamey to handle because he's running solo right now. No problem. And a shot from OVH City. 3rd position ain't bad, buddy. The the Audi R8 LMS, the Audi Team Sports WRT Grade 3. Most of these cars are synonymous. Once you see them in the real racing situations for B-Quik, they are the choice, the car of choice for most of the B-Quik races if you've seen them out and around in Thailand. But because this is the virtual world, thank you to the virtual courtesy of Gran Turismo, we're able to hold this race under license that we already have to hold the series season 1 and 2. Gotta say thank you to the B-Quik Company Limited for presenting and sponsoring the race. City S holding on to the steering wheel. A little bit of the correction, as you can see on the steering wheel shot right here in the cockpit view. His way or style of driving is a little bit, I guess it's a little bit more precise and overly dialed in because he does have a little more of a correction, but going into the apex, not really touching the apex. So he's a little bit not as conservative. He's more loose on the track compared to Paxion and Boss 76, who later on I'm sure will be in clear view. King Bob Gamey down by 4th position, dropping it down, who happens to have the fastest lap around the Dragon's Tail right here, 130.581. Beat that, everybody, and if they do, well, you know, they got a better chance. So what does this tell me? Down by 9th lap out of 20, almost halfway of the race series here, right here, for this track. King Bob does have a good chance of climbing up the ranks up against OVH City. Here's a shot of the duo that earlier on did mess up and dropped down into 7th position. Dada MK13 up against Natawam. A little bit of a smoke screen there for you for Natawam to take in. Of course, doesn't have anything to do with the radiators, but wow, what a wonderful shot up on the hood view of Natawam right here. Thanks to the courtesy there. You will know once you start hearing the squealing done by the cars, you know you're at the car's limits. That's how drivers can tell the car is at its limits. If you're not squealing in the tires, you can take it a little further, either in terms of late braking or cornering. Listen to that engine roar. Polyphony has definitely put their science in terms of the sound design and engineering, because they have definitely replicated the Audi sound perfectly, down to the little itty bitty hertz. Sequential gear going, yum, yum, yum. Gotta take those gears in. 6th position, Tata up front, locked in. Look at the conviction down the eyes here of Natawam. Wowzers. Natawam in the red livery right there, slapped on there for you. I got the nice swan tail rear airfoil. Just a little bit of tidbit information for you. Those are not what we call spoilers, but they're called airfoils. The difference between airfoils and spoilers is because once the air does go above and under the tail there, it's called an airfoil. But if it only goes above, it's called a spoiler. Ooh, not to want, almost going for the kill there on the inside line. But it wasn't enough. Both go diving back into pit row, almost the whole crew there. Every one of those drivers going into pits right there. Midway into the race, as it should be. So it seems that the racing pace for pits will be every 5 or so laps. Tire choice is crucial. What this means is if these drivers go in at approximately 5 laps per session, that means they would probably want to stick with the soft tire choice. Why? Because that offers the best grip under the 5 laps that they choose to go around Dragon's Tail. Unless somebody decides to go with the long-term bet of maybe sticking on a medium compound and then go the whole distance on the last leg of the journey without pit stops on the last leg. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Let's see. Paxion still in front. Ball 76, Vatana looks like he's met his match today with a driver that hasn't joined the group for the last 3 tracks of the season. So it goes to show you that, late bloomer Paxion is, but a late bloomer and an early riser he is. Man, Jackie Gleason would have said it best. Bang zoom to the moon. There you go, folks. All 76 desperately trying to play catch up here after coming out pit row. The gap rate here is 1.4, 1.5, give or take a few half a second. Boz biting his lower lip. You can only see that once in a while. Meanwhile, Paxion, he's got the poker face going on here. Not giving up his true intention to the camera there. Look how smooth he is. Compare that to the back end driver we got. I believe that's Natawam in the back shot right there. There is quite a difference in how he handles the steering wheel. You got to be consistent and smooth. Well, this guy is buttery smooth. So, I gotta say, so far, Paxion has handled himself greatly. He has now definitely changed his game. In the beginning, you saw him play the defense. Not anymore, folks. Now he's playing all out. I'm going to be all out because he knows that he's got the edge over Ball 76, who currently is 0.7 seconds away from the back end. And King Bob Gamey climbs up into third position, but he's nowhere to be seen on the screen. He's far and away. So give it a chance, folks. Gamey might have a chance to come up, but so far it's going to take a while with only 7 laps left to go. That's a tall order right there for you. The Gran Turismo Pro Series 2020 presented by B-Quik. We are racing for the Thailand trophy right here for you, folks. And the best time right there for Ball 76 just garnered on the track. Ooh, late braking, almost touching up on the real tailgate. Now, usually, if you're really close to the car in front, when you come in on the late braking, you're almost going to be touching nose to tail. But in this case, Ball 76 wasn't there within, let's just say, slipstream. So he's still far back there from slipstream. And the further that Paxion can get, the more he can get away because the slipstream is not within reach of Ball. Poveritz will have to push the game up a little harder. King Bob far and away, stopped by, down by 4th position, City S, and then Tacky in 5th, Tacky SPR. You know, if I just tuned in now and I just looked at the face of Paxi, I would be like, man, this guy's like taking it like driving Miss Daisy. Look at his expression on his face. I mean, the only tension I see on him is like his forearm. That means he's holding on to the steering wheel quite firmly and making every decision as precise as possible. No need to correct. And if this guy can hold 14 laps under his belt without having Ball come up and say, hello, hello, I'm coming up, well, it's a great job so far. Ball almost having the inside line, and will it be the strategy? Or was it the strategy all along? Heck, it looks like Ball's stepping up the game. Finally, we're starting to see some bumper-to-bumper action going on right here. Yes, sirree! And it looks like Ball's going to pull out all the stops right here, coming down. With only 6 laps to go. The tension is on. The playtime is over. Paxion's got to put on the best of the best show he can. Ball 76, about to pounce. He's been waiting on that lock-on for so long. Look at the driving line. Oh, on the inside, coming in, taking over, and he takes first position, closing it up before coming in on the starting line. That was a surprise move. Paxion finally lose it down in the 15th lap beginning, and it's side by side, folks, on the inside line. Ball going for the number 1, numero uno position to beat. Paxion's got to be tense right now and pretty much pissed. But hey, it's a sportsmanship game. He's got to take the seat and got to take the card as he was been dealt. That's right, folks. Ball 76, I told you he was going to be playing the game last minute whatsoever. 15 laps in, he took it in the 15th lap. Surprise Paxion taking him on the inside. Surprise, surprise, but you got to be careful from the way Paul is driving. He's a little bit twitchy in the back end. You know what that means? That means Paxion's already seeing all the little bit of errors that's going on with Paul. Hoveritz's going through a lot of tension right here. He knows he's up against somebody, a wild card from out in the crew. He didn't show up during the whole season, and now he shows up. Paxion is a guy to be reckoned with on the track. Giving a little bit of a moment just to brush off some dust on his nose, folks, but nothing to brush at. Take a look back on the back end of the field. Tata up against Natawam. Still, the race continues in the back end there. Tacky nowhere to be seen, though. King Bob getting still the same fastest lap around the Dragon's Tail, whipping it back at a 130.432. Now, Paxion and Ball duking it out. I called it out earlier. It seemed that the interval was 5 laps into the pit stop, and that's the name of the game. Everybody diving in. Is Don not going to go for medium tires? I don't know. I just saw a little bit of the M tire compound being chosen there. But hey, if that's going to be his choice, let her rip. Let her rip. Don, 1407. I don't know why he would have chosen medium, but oh, here we go. Paxion going for the pass right there. Unbelievable gutsy move right there. Replay, here we go. Let's see what happened. Ball taking he took the wrong driving line. That's what happens when you take the wrong driving line. You lose a little bit of the edge. And therefore, Paxion, who had the optimal driving line, coming around the S corners right on the Dragon's Tail, was able to whip it out, so to say, and reclaim the throne back in first position. So I'm telling you, Paxion, a force to be reckoned with. Gotta say, jeez, this guy is crazy fast. Paxion, my Jacri, up against Pavarit Paso. So, let's see what will happen next. Pavarit knows with only, 4 laps left to go? Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. 4 laps left to go. All the stakes here for the win. Now, in terms of the overall points, you know that Pavarit Paso earlier on from racetrack 1, 2, and 3, or whatever previous race we were racing on, from down Scuba Race, all down by Blue Moon Bay, right? He garnered around 26 points, so you know he's pretty satisfied. But to be a real racer, you gotta win as much as possible. You don't want to drop your guard anytime soon. However, for my Jacri, the newbie, getting into the series as late as the 4th and last race for Class B, he doesn't have any accumulated points. But what he does have is currently first position. And he has a lot to prove there. A lot of good show. For the fans out there, talking about fans, folks, don't forget, folks, we are live coming at you from the headquarters over at B-Quik down by Rama 5. Come on down if you're down here in the area. Lots of good things to be seen. I saw as I walked on into the headquarters here, a lot of booths and prizes and giveaways, lots of fun stuff down at the headquarters at Rama 5. But we are simulating the race down by Dragon's Tail's Garden. 20 laps or so, currently down by 17. And the amazing duke out from Paxion and Paul 76 is underway. Currently a shot of Tacky SPR in 5th position with a 15.5 second time behind the lead. going 14:07, down by 6. Natawam only being superseded by Dada MK13. MK13 Meta. Meanwhile, Natawam. A shot as you see him in the back there. Last but not least, he's hanging in there. I can't imagine what is going on in the mind of Ball 76 right now. When will he take the reign once again? I mean, he already played the game where I'm going to surprise you, Saka. That's right, I'm going to surprise you, Paxion. And when Paxion knew, or Mai Chakri knew that Pavrit was going to pass him, down by the 15th lap, or the beginning of the 15th lap, maybe it was a game, or maybe it was a slight mistake or error on the behalf of Mai Chakri, who might have taken the wrong driving line and lost that edge just for a short bit. But it looks like Paxion now is on top of his game. Look at the way he enters corners, all the way on the out, coming in, hitting the apex, getting a little bit of the rumble strip there for you. And the way these cars are set up, you know they're stiff as heck. Ball 76 car, the Vatana machine there, showing a little bit of a bump as he goes over the rumble strips right there, the ripple strips there. Oh, diving in, inside line. The brakes are hot. And how hot can it be? Was it enough? No, sirree. No, sirree. He dived in a little bit too early, lost some speed and momentum, wasn't able to clinch it in. Paxion said that was a close call. But man, oh man, 19 laps into 20. If he pulls that move again, it might be over. Flashing his lights, pulling all the stops for Paxion to get nervous. But you know, look at his face. This guy can't be bought. He can't be beat. Nothing you can throw at him will make him nervous. No sirree. I mean, it'll be amazing if I get a smile out of him. But it looks like Ball's trying to do a psych out now. If he's gonna go left or right, let's see. Crossing the starting line, here we go. Reset time, folks, here we go. Crossing the line there, now into the final lap. If this was a boxing match, you would hear the knock on the ground right there, signaling to the drivers, it's now or never. Here we go. Audi R8 LMS machine. And lo and behold, no sponsorship on that car up in front by Paxion, a newbie to the series, driving the nail to the end of the season, part 1. Oh, Ball 76 trying to shake him into the corner, makes a little bit of a boo-boo, hits the grass, goes way out there, oh, into the barrier. My goodness, that is going to be a boo-boo and a no-no on his behalf. Talk about an error right there. He was pushing it, but pushing it too hard. Now, the only guy that can possibly smile now happens to be Paxion, Mai Chakri, who now has a moment to smile. Oh, Pavarit Paso pushed it into the edge, and the edge he does go with that error. Now has only one thing on his mind. Who the heck is in third position? Folks, it's gonna be City up against Ball 76 because Ball went into the side there, almost bit too much of the grass. Last but not least, coming in for the win, wiggling it in. I hope he doesn't spin, and you see a little bit of a smile. He finally gives off us a smile. Thank goodness, here we go. It was a close finish, but he pushed a little too hard. Ball got second, and Paxion, the new entry to the season, last race on the Dragon's Tail, took the win. OVH Cine came in third, King Bob fourth, Tacky fifth, Dunn in sixth, Competent seventh and eighth in concession there, Tatar and Natawam. It was pretty clear, folks, what was going on, and here is the victory shot for you. Paxion taking it in for the win. Mai Chakri. Wow, folks, I don't know about you, but was that unbelievable or what? Check it out. You have a newbie coming into the race. Late entry, but what a race it was. He held on for most of the race, only losing it for 1 or 2 laps from the 15 lap or so up against the lead Honcho, who earlier has a 26-point lead. But Paxion, with no previous races, was basically just in it for the showdown, and he did provide a great show indeed. This is Lert Siri me commentating for you live down by the headquarters of B-Quik of Rama 5. Come on down. There's great more to be had right here, even though we did finish the race for Class B of the Gran Turismo Pro Series 2020, brought to you in part by B-Quik. That's right, folks. And of course, we are going to be going on to the next thing installed for the race. But first, I gotta say, stick around, folks. There's going to be more racing to be had. Don't forget, Class A coming up next. And if you want to check out the tidbits and highlights of previous races, go on down to the Facebook page of eRacing, GP eRacing on the Facebook page. You can check out the highlights, information, future calendar dates. And, of course, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe for the staff pick for the random prize giveaway. Thank you to B-Quik. Of course, this is Lert Siri me. We'll stick around. We'll be right back after some words from our sponsors. Let's check out some of the highlights and sponsors. We'll be right back.
เปลี่ยนน้ำมันเครื่องต้องที่ B-Quik ที่ไหน
B-Quik
ทำไม
แชร์โมบิลเกนเป็นกิโล
เท่าไหร่
เริ่มต้น690 บาท
ทั้ง
690 บาท
แถมฟรี
ใส่กล่อง
ฟรี
ค่าแรง
คุ้มไหม
คุ้มมาก
ครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่ B-Quik
ทั่วประเทศ
ถึง 31 ธันวาคมนี้เรียกแบทแมนเรียกแบทแมนโทร1153ส่งฟรีเปลี่ยนถึงที่ทั่วกรุงเทพครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่ B-Quik เรียกแบทแมนเรียกแบทแมนโทร1153ส่งฟรีเปลี่ยนถึงที่ทั่วกรุงเทพครบทุกบริการเรื่องรถที่ B-Quik
ที่ประทับใจตั้งแต่เข้ามาในวงการเกมนะครับรู้สึกว่าทุกคนสามัคคีกันดีครับช่วยเหลือกันอะไรเงี้ยครับก็เป็นมิตรภาพดีๆจากคนที่ไม่เคยเจอกันเลยครับผมก็มาเจอกันได้เพราะว่าเกมนี้ครับ
แน่นอนครับอุปสรรคเนี่ยมันต้องมีจากเริ่มแรกเนี่ยที่ประสบความสำเร็จเนี่ยพอแข่งไปสักพักเนี่ยเราก็จะพบกับผู้เล่นใหม่ๆตัวละครใหม่ๆเนี่ยซึ่งบางทีเนี่ยฝีมือเนี่ยก็เหนือกว่าเราก็ต้องหาทางแก้เกมหรือว่าศึกษาคู่แข่งนะฮะเพื่อที่จะก้าวผ่านไปให้ได้นะครับ
จุดเด่นของผมไม่มีอะไรมากครับผมก็เป็นนักแข่งเกมทั่วๆไปแต่ความฝันของผมคืออยากได้เป็นนักแข่งจริงกับเขาบ้างเหตุผลที่ผมหลงรักในเกม Gran Turismo Sport นะครับคือผมสามารถสนุกไปกับมันได้แล้วก็เป็นเกมที่สามารถเล่นทั้งไม่เคร่งเครียดกับมันหรือสามารถจะจริงจังเพื่อจะไปถึงระดับโลกได้นะครับ
จุดเด่นของผมก็คือการไม่ยอมแพ้ครับผมจะสู้ให้ถึงที่สุดครับจนกว่าเกมจะจบเรื่องราวที่น่าจดจำที่สุดก็น่าจะเป็นเมื่อปีที่แล้วครับที่ได้ที่ 3 ของประเทศไปครับถึงผมจะอายุน้อยที่สุดแต่ผมก็จะไม่หยุดเหยียบคันเร่งนะครับ
เรามีความฝันที่ว่าเราอยากแข่งรถจริงอย่างเงี้ยเราไปคัดแล้วมันไม่ได้ทีนี้มันก็ท้อมากเหมือนความฝันมันดับวูบไปเลยพอมาเจอกับแข่งเกมอะไรอย่างเงี้ยมันก็เหมือนกับมีลู่ทางเหมือนความฝันมันก็กลับมาหาตัวเราเองอีกครั้งผมอยากให้มองว่าดิจิตอลมอเตอร์สปอร์ตมันไม่ใช่เกมแข่งรถอีกต่อไปมันคือกีฬาอาชีพและมันเป็นกีฬาที่ทำความฝันของผมให้เป็นจริงได้ครับ
ก็ที่ประทับใจนะครับก็ได้แข่งกับคนเก่งๆเยอะแยะเลยครับประสบการณ์ที่เอามาใช้กับชีวิตจริงได้คือเกมเนี่ยฮะทำให้ผมขับรถเป็นครับ ทำยังไงถึงจะผ่านมาได้ ทุกครั้งที่เราแพ้เราก็เก็บมาเป็นบทเรียนแล้วก็พัฒนาต่อไป
ในมุมมองดิจิตอลมอเตอร์สปอร์ตนะครับผมคิดว่ามันจับต้องง่ายขึ้นมันเริ่มเข้าถึงได้ง่ายขึ้นนะครับไม่ได้ยากเหมือนรถจริงที่อาจจะต้องมีขั้นตอนอะไรมากมายกว่านี้ร่วมเข้าแข่งขันก็ขอให้ทุกคนสู้กันอย่างเต็มที่นะครับแล้วก็มีน้ำใจนักกีฬาสู้กันอย่างไม่ต้องยั้งนะครับสู้กันเต็มที่
ประทับใจตั้งแต่เข้ามาในวงการเกมนะครับรู้สึกว่า